tutorial on viruses, protecting yourselves from them, and how to remove viruses from your computer. Alright, first of all, viruses. Here's some different types. We've got up here viruses. We've got the virus, which attaches itself to a program, a script, or a macro and launches itself. Varying degrees of severity. A Trojan, which masks itself as a legitimate program, like an antivirus program, and says, click here, give us money, and we'll remove the virus, when it in fact is a virus. A worm, which just endlessly replicates itself on networks. Rootkit, which attaches itself to the master boot record and launches before the OS even starts. And then these next three are related to internet browsing, oftentimes adware, producing pop-ups, right? Oftentimes web page pop-ups. Spyware, which reports on your personal information and activities that you do, normally on the web, oftentimes on the web, places you go, your searches, all kinds of stuff. A browser hijacker, which we see these a lot, which will change your home page on your browser and also add unwanted toolbars to your browser that control how you're surfing the web and make it impossible for you to surf the web. And then this last group is related to email. Spam, which is unwanted email, and phishing scams, email that try to theft your identity by tempting you to put in your username, password, your social security number, your credit card information, trying to tempt you into revealing yourself online so they can have access to your accounts. Okay, so once we have a virus, we'll talk about once you have a virus, oftentimes, or let's say a Trojan, in this case, something that masks itself as friendly, and says, usually you'll see it here in the bottom right hand corner in your system tray, and it'll pop up saying, hey, get rid of a virus, give me money, and you're like, this isn't normal, I didn't have this before, this is a virus. Well, if you feel like that's a virus, you're probably right, and it is. So if it's running, if this virus or browser hijacker is running on your system, it's hard to remove it, but the first thing you want to do is try to run some antivirus programs if you can. If you can run your antivirus program, your anti-spyware program, you want to do that first. So what I recommend is, do you have one, first of all? I recommend AVG Free, I recommend Avast or Malwarebytes. Those three programs are all, there's a free version that you can download for free and use. For spyware, I recommend Super Anti-Spyware or Spybot Search and Destroy. You can also download those free. And first thing you want to do is see if you can run these programs. Can you run them, and will they remove the virus? Oftentimes, you'll have a hard time running these programs if the virus is running on your system. So what you might want to do in that case is go to your control panel and go to your network and sharing center, let's say your network center, and manage network connections, and find your wireless connection, let's say, and right click on it and disable it. Or your local area connection, right click on it and disable it. So by doing that, you're going to shut off your internet, and that way the virus cannot try to constantly download new versions of itself. So I shut down your internet connection is a good way to do it. Maybe there's a switch on your laptop, you can shut off your wireless connection, but I recommend doing that first. Okay, so after you shut off your internet connection, see if you can run these programs. If you can run them, then afterwards I recommend running a registry cleaner like CCleaner. And if you have a rootkit, something that's it's always good to try to run, see if you have a rootkit, something that is launching itself before your operating system starts. So a good one is Rootkit Reveal, which is also a free download. All these programs you can download free. We'll talk about some of these other things here in a second. So if you have the virus and you're unable to run your spyware programs or your virus programs, or you run them and still the virus is there, so you've run your antivirus program but you couldn't get rid of it. Oftentimes that's because the virus or the Trojan is running. It's in memory, so you can't delete it because it's running. It's in memory, and so you delete it, but it comes back. So oftentimes down here in the system tray you'll see it, and you need to shut it off. Now, you won't probably be able to right click on it and exit it like you can with this. I can exit some of these programs just by like right clicking on them and then clicking exit. It probably won't let you do that. So what you could do is open your task manager, right click, open your task manager, and start to examine these processes that are running. And if you can find the virus here running, what you can do is you can select it and you can click end process to shut it down. So I'm going to look for the process and click end process and shut it down. Also, I'm going to look under services. And it shows you services that are running. These are programs running in the background. Some of them are running, some of them are stopped. But I'm going to look through here and see if I can find the virus. And a recommendation that I have is you can also on your processes here go to View, select Columns, and check mark image path name, which will open up the path to the file that's launched this process or this background program. And you can see here that, for instance, down here I've got super anti-spyware here running in my system tray. And if I look here, I could actually find it in this processes. And see, there it is, super anti-spyware. If I was to select this and click end process, it would shut down this program from my system tray. So, well, there's a lot of processes here. How do you know which one is a legitimate system process and which one is a virus? Oftentimes what you have to do is consult with Google. Do a Google search and type in the name of the process just to find out if it's a legitimate process or it's a rogue process. Also, these processes you should expect to see in your task manager. So these are all legitimate processes that you should expect to see right here on the left. So I put a list there for you. Okay, so you've tried to do that, and it's either worked or it hasn't. Next step. You can go to Start and type in CMD and receive a command prompt. And what you can do is type in msconfig, and it'll open up the system configuration dialog box. And right here you can look at services and you can uncheck them, click OK. On your startup programs that are starting up, and check them, uncheck them, and click OK or apply. And then when you restart your system, hopefully those programs, those services and startup programs won't start up when your system starts up. The other thing you can do is start up your system and press F8 on your keyboard to boot into safe mode, and then try to run your antivirus program in safe mode also. There's a couple of tools that you can get. This one's called Process Explorer. You can see here that you can download it from technet.microsoft.com. And Process Explorer is kind of like your task manager. It shows you different processes running on your system. It has a little bit more information, and one of the useful things that it shows you is kind of a tree on what processes are started by what. So you can see here this process is started by this process, and it gives you kind of a tree view on what's running on your system. So that's Process Explorer. Another useful tool, let's see here, is SIW 2010. I recommend that. You can download it. And if none of these things work, what can you do? Well, you can go to Newegg, and at Newegg, if you go to computer hardware and you look up computer accessories, right, computer accessories, you can find an adapter tool that'll run you about $17 that will enable you to take your hard drive out of your laptop or out of your tower and attach it as a USB external hard drive. So here it is. This is a Vantech SATA and IDE to USB adapter, right? And what this thing does is it enables you attach your hard drive. Once you've removed your hard drive from your computer, you can attach your hard drive to this tool right here and then plug it in to your computer through the USB port. That way, of course, you're going to need another computer to do this. You're going to need another operating system, because the goal is to take your current hard drive that's infected and turn it into an external hard drive that can be scanned by another system.